Tonight, News 4 investigates a dirty secret at the St. Louis City Refuse Department. The city has paid a hefty settlement to a former employee.
She claims her boss sexually harassed her and management turned a blind eye. As investigator Susan L. Corey finds, its behavior, some say, has gone on for years.
Hauling trash isn't a job for everyone, but for some St. Louis refuse workers,
she started experiencing requests for sexual favors, offensive comments, offensive touching.
It's what happened inside their office that really stinks.
Nobody would do anything to protect her.
That woman hired lawyer Veronica Johnson.
She's still traumatized by what happened to her.
The woman's job with the city lasted less than 2 months. Refuse foreman Roger Gladney fired her, something she and her lawyer called retaliation.
She had objected to his sexual requests and then was fired.
This year in February, she sued the city, claiming Gladney made unwelcome sexual advances and had a sex toy in his office that he once pointed to and told her, "Get your assignment." It was to the point she avoided being alone in his office or his work truck.
It was humiliating. It was happening in front of her coworkers, most of whom were men. At least one of these men told her that it had happened to other women.
The case didn't stay in court. The city settled, paying the woman $325,000. We searched the city website to contact Gladney and discovered this page from August, which showed he retired. So we found Gladney at his house.
Okay.
He wasn't dressed for us on his doorstep, but decided to talk anyways.
These are bogus comments against me, you know. The city didn't treat me right.
He pointed back to the claim about a sex toy. Gladney doesn't know who, but said someone put it in his office when he wasn't there.
I don't play this, excuse my French, somebody trying to be funny. I picked it up with a paper towel and threw it in the trash.
Turns out that's not the only case. Court records show in August, another woman sued for sexual harassment and retaliation.
The sheriff knocked on the door and gave me that bogus subpoena.
In that suit, the woman said Gladney asked her to go with him to a hotel to walk around the room naked.
I'm not going to spend that type of money taking a woman to a hotel just to tell her, walk around and look at you naked? Are you kidding me?
That woman worked for the city 3 years ago. Gladney questioned why she waited to sue.
Come on now, when somebody sexually harassed you, want to get that right away. You want to nip it in the bud. Not when I tell you you failed your working test period. And all of a sudden, oh, he's sexually harassing me.
As that case heads to court, Gladney said he'll represent himself. He already filed a response saying not guilty of anything.
I don't have no money. What am I to do? Who's going to help me? Can somebody help me prove my innocence? Please?
While the cases happened years apart, there's a notable similarity. Both women said they told multiple supervisors about the alleged sexual harassment. None took action.
We came here to the refuse department, but the supervisors named in the lawsuit didn't want to talk and sent us down the road to City Hall, where the mayor's office also turned down an interview and gave us a statement saying the city doesn't tolerate sexual harassment.
Nobody at any level said, hey, we got to stop and do an investigation.
Did anyone from the city ever reach out and say, hey, we want to know what happened?
Not until after she was terminated, not until after we entered our appearance in the case.
We asked the city if anyone else was disciplined, but never got an answer outside this statement that there's a zero tolerance policy when it comes to sexual harassment.
What I'm really hurt about is no one tried to defend me. 21 damn years. And they tell me it's best for you to retire. They don't say, well, Mr. Gladney, what is your side?
Gladney said he was forced out around the same time the first lawsuit settled.
He comes in, he says, you on administrative leave right now pending further investigation. I said to what? He said, I don't want to talk about it, just leave it. It's best for you to retire.
The city wouldn't answer our questions about that, only saying it declined to represent Gladney in the second lawsuit.
Did you ever make any
None.
Sexual comments?
None.
Touching?
None. I was very professional.
While Johnson never had to argue her case in court,
When you see something as bad as this was, it indicates that not only has this been going on for a period of time, but that there's also a systemic failure.
she believes it's time for the refuse division to focus on picking up itself.
In other words, this person is doing it, but everybody else is looking the other way.
As part of the settlement we mentioned, the city agreed to add sexual harassment training for all refuse employees. That must include training on appropriate behavior and how to report complaints. Gladney maintains he fired both women during their probation periods for failing to meet work expectations. Susan L. Corey, News 4 investigates.